going to be expensive AF. It's literally going to drain my savings. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to a day in the life of a work trip for me. So I'm in Massachusetts right now. I've been on the road for the last month. I have some exciting announcements in this video. I'm going to be sharing what the project I'm shooting today is, but also what is to come with that FitFriend over the next few months to the next year into 2025. It is going to be one of the most loftiest things I've ever done in my life. It's scaring the crap out of me as I write out this business plan, but stay tuned because I will share all of those details in this video. All right, so just snagged some breakfast at the local shop. Brioche bun here, some avocado spread, tomato, bacon with 2 eggs. Not as dense with the protein as I'd prefer, but kind of get what you get. And it was the best option, I think, for getting as much protein as possible. They have a cold brew here, obviously. So why am I in Concord? So I'm actually shooting a collaboration video with a company called Ahrefs. They are a software company that specializes in different SEO tools. Now, when it comes to my website, what I do, I know SEO at a very baseline level, but I am not like a technical guy. And so over the last 9-10 months or so, and I know I've shared this in the Reddit and across my social media platforms, but basically Google has made a bunch of algo updates that have plummeted small publishers like that FitFriend. And so me being a small indie publisher, I have lost 95% of my reach, and I have no idea why. There's been no rhyme or reason. It's called the helpful content update on top of other updates, but I'm the only reviewer in our space truthfully buying things and keeping an arm's length away from these companies and not doing under the table deals. So the irony of getting hit this hard, even though you're trying to build it right, that's the most ironic part of everything. But I'm shooting a collaboration project with them. They're flying me out to basically feature that FitFriend and discuss what happened to the brand and hear my story and whatnot. Because again, like with the brand also, I have 12 years of coaching experience, a master's in sports science. So I've built like all this credibility there, and still people who don't even know shoes or training or ranking and just like doing really well. So they want to hear the whole back end of how a site and business like that with the expertise has gotten crushed. And so we'll also be sharing what's next to come for that FitFriend, which is the announcement I'm going to make later in this video. And I know I'm teasing it, I'm time stamping it. So if you don't have time, please jump to it. I'm not trying to keep you here and make you waste your day watching my video if you are short on time, but I will be talking about that project because I think it is going to actually be one of the next pendulum swings we see in social media and businesses in general in the context of what people want out of brand. And I could be wrong. And also I would love your feedback in the comments if you have any thoughts too, because I do want this to be a more community focused project in the sense of how it grows and builds. But all that said, guys, I'm going to eat this sandwich really fast and I will see you guys in a little bit. Just going on a post-breakfast stroll. I always try to get up and walk a little bit after eating if I can, especially if I'm on the road like this. And plus, it's just one of the coolest ways to see the surrounding area. Like, there's so much cool architecture in this town. It's like all these old cottages. I love that type of architecture. But long story short, what I was thinking about while I'm walking is just how dang grateful I am to even have that opportunity to go and shoot this video with Ahrefs. If you're not plugged into the web scene, like the SEO world, they're a big company. And so the fact that they're even recognizing and wanting to talk to me about that FitFriend is like, it's kind of insane, to be honest, because I'm a tiny little publisher. And it's funny because in our initial phone call where I was explaining like what that FitFriend is and stuff, they were like, wait, you don't have a team? And I was like, nope, just a one-man army of a dude who just is way too obsessed with the niche he's publishing in. And I think they were blown away at the volume and quality and stuff, because I would say that FitFriend punches above its weight regarding quality tied into the ability to be helpful, I think, over some of these big sites that just pump out content on content on content, or some of these pump and dump niche bros that just flip content, and sell sites. Like that FitFriend is my only business and venture. And so that's how I'm able to give it so much dedication and time. But all that to say, I just wanted to point out that the gratitude and gratefulness of being able to have this opportunity, it's not lost on me. It is something that is very cool. Oh, this house is sick. Very cool. And I don't know. I don't think it's really hit me yet. I've been trying to be more present and in the moment because with all the travel, it can be very hard to do that when you're go all the time and rushing around and doing everything you need to get done in a day while also seeing things. So all I have to say, I will see you guys, because the next time I see you, I will be at Ahrefs. Also, for the record, when it comes to the pronunciation of this company, I've always said Ahrefs. Now, I'm going to ask Sam when we get there if he says Ahrefs or Ahrefs. I like Ahrefs. I feel like my monkey brain, that's how like it wants to pronounce the company name. And I know other folks are very adamant on Reddit about the pronunciation of that too. But we'll ask Sam and get the definitive answer here. All right, so I lied. I will actually be filming a little bit before I get there because there's like 2 hours in between. I don't want to jump and travel in time on y'all, and you guys be like, wait, weren't you just at breakfast and now you're here midday? So I have 2 hours to kill before I head over to their offices. I am working on my Cloud X4 written review right now. It takes me around, man, I don't know, it varies a lot, but for a general review like this, that I've already filmed a video for, so I already kind of have like some formulated structure to my thoughts and how the shoe performed and all my mental notes and notes in my phone on the shoe. It takes me around like 3 to 5-ish hours, give or take, on how long it takes me to write that review, just because with all of the added details into the review itself outside of the writing, like for example, formatting the images and then building into the plugins that I have on the site, it does take quite some time. So I will start on this review. I'll probably hopefully get through halfway. What I might do is try to really nail down the writing before I go over there. And then that way later, I just have to do the added frills. So call it like the icing on the cake regarding the review. But that said, it's been really interesting noticing my motivation with the site itself and producing reviews at the volume I used to. So when traffic has taken such a big hit, I find it very difficult sometimes to get motivated to publish reviews when it comes to written content. On YouTube, I am at a full all-time high regarding motivation. I think that is going to be the coolest platform too to share what I'm trying to build. But with the site itself, it's been tough because there's just no reach to it. So for example, it's like Google can say diversify your traffic and all these experts can say you need to diversify, which I have. I feel like I've done a pretty good job doing. But at the same time, when you have a search engine that has a monopoly on search itself and they own like 95% of the market share, like it's very difficult to stay motivated to produce when there's no eyeballs on it. And it stinks because if you look at like TF2 content compared to the other top competitors, the depth is so much more in my content and I don't have a fucking bias. And I think that's the biggest thing and the hardest thing to convey, because you can say it and other people can just write it down and you'll believe it. Because if you don't know that Fitfriend in the depth of all the reviews and the back end and kind of who I am, it's hard to tell that right off the bat. And maybe I can do a better job at portraying that. And I obviously probably can within my written content, but it's just frustrating at times when people say you need to diversify. That's why and it's like, well, you can diversify all you want, but when a company owns literally 90 to 95% of how people are going to see your content and they have completely pummeled your site and put whatever filter on it so it doesn't even show up, it's hard. So for example, and just to give you a little bit of example here before we move on in the video, and I want to nerd out a little bit on this, is actually I'll give you 3 examples. Notorious Lift Radix, we have the 100 Aerolux Barefoot, and then we have the Adidas Dropset 3. Now, when I published these reviews, I was the only written review published on these shoes. Those reviews go deep, like 2,000 words plus, talking about the pros, cons, performance, sizing thoughts, going into details of the shoe's construction. And you would think, because it's the only written review, it should rank somewhere like in the top page probably. Like maybe some product pages should rank over it because they have reviews on their page, yada yada. People are looking for reviews. It varies a lot on what people want, but generally they want either short form or long form. So it would be expected to have a mix of UGC content, long form, product stuff. Where is that Fitfriend ranking right now? Page 3, 4. So you'll never even see it. Unless you know to look for that Fitfriend, you won't even see the content anymore. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk to Ahrefs about today and what I've experienced, because it's just wild when you're the only resource on the topic and you're already going more in depth than every other resource, but you're getting hit to 3 and 4. It's just like, what's going on? But, you know, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I don't produce just for Google. So that's why I keep producing on the site, even though it is very difficult at times, because if it's not getting reach and it's not really monetizing and helping the business move forward regarding building better stuff, it's tough. And I think anybody with a business mindset or any form of rational sense would understand that, but we're going to keep forging on. It's the only way we know. And I love the niche too much to stop. And as much as I would love to, you know, spend my energy doing some other stuff, like I'm a journalist at heart and I love the writing editorial component of fitness. That's what got me into that Fitfriend in the first place. So it feels very hard to stray and give up on those roots yet, because I still want to believe people care about long form written content. I know written is dying, but people do care. But all that said, rant aside, this was like a 5-minute clip, so I do apologize there. Again, timestamping everything, but back to the video. I will see you guys at Ahrefs. I'm going to start writing on this, sip my coffee, enjoy the rest of the 2 hours I have of just mental freedom, and I will see you guys very soon. Little snack break while I work. 2 Chobanis here. Chobani. Greek yogurt, strawberry, banana. Honestly, low-key, one of my favorite flavors, but the issue I have with this flavor is that it often comes way too mixed, so I can't really deviate. So what I like to do with my Chobani, whatever, I don't care, is I like to scoop out the top part and then just do like a little top of the tip with the spoon. Yes, just dip the tip. That's all it is. And that keeps like some of that sugar and like that really sweet layer at the bottom not being too much. So if you want to eat Chobanis, and especially the flavored kind, but not go super, super sweet with the flavor or get all that sugar right at once, scoop the top layer, dip the little top of the spoon, and then you are good to go. We made it to the gym we're shooting at. We're at Reach Athletics. Big shout out to Reach. Thank you for letting us come and shoot. Owner Dana is really super cool. So honestly, I'm hoping that I'm in this area again to come shoot and train here more often, because this gym is sick. It's like the perfect blend of CrossFit gym, but also athletic gym. But we're going to be shooting a workout, talking about that fit friend. So me and Sam, he is the liaison who does all the YouTube content over at Ahrefs. So we'll be shooting together, working out. I'll be explaining that fit friend. But I will see you guys very soon. Boy, just finished filming. It was a long day, so there's going to be definitely a discrepancy between when I last saw you guys versus now. But Sam, thank you so much. Grant, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is going to be a big video. Obviously, I will be sharing that with all of y'all, but thank you so much. Thank you, guys. It has been such a long day. I'm in Everett or Medford right now, getting dinner with my best friend from college. I actually didn't think I was going to be able to see him all summer, but I am actually able to see him because of this trip, and this was only booked like 2 weeks ago, so what a blessing in disguise. But I'll see you guys after dinner. I'll share more about the project I'm working on. I've really been fleshing it out, and it's been really cool because I've had like a lot of random conversations today, yesterday, and over the last week actually, where maybe it's that thing where if you're putting enough energy towards something, things just start aligning, but it's more and more seeming like a reality. I'm really stoked on that. But I need to eat. I have not eaten since breakfast, and I'm dying. All right, we are wrapping up today. I know this vlog wasn't super flashy, but it is honestly kind of still a monumental video regarding like little milestones for both the brand when it comes to collaborations, but then also where I want to take the brand that I want to talk to you guys about. But I do apologize if it wasn't super flashy with the B-roll. It's a lot of talking head, I know, and I can only be so interesting for so long. But all that said, today was sick. We shot for 2 hours at the gym. Me and Sam, who is the YouTube liaison and like the talking head on Ahrefs channel, and then Grant, the videographer, they were both amazing. Shot for 2 hours, did a cool workout, talked shoes, talked about the origins of that fit friend. It was super fun. And then went back to their studio and basically talked about the site, what could maybe be improved, but also just the state of Google search and what's going on, and talked a lot about that. Also, if that's really distracting, I'm sorry. I'm in a really dodgy Quint Boston. It's not great. But all that said, the announcement I want to make, and I'm going to keep talking about this on the channel, so believe me, this will get brought up again. But that fit friend, the next iteration, the next thing that I want to do with this brand is I am looking into opening up a retail store in Austin, Texas. So hear me out. I have a lot of good ideas with this, and these are just some of the ideas I want to get in motion, but there are no stores in the US where you can try on barefoot shoes, cross-training shoes, and weightlifting shoes, especially with a high volume. And I think the sizing issues that we all run into, like that's the biggest pain point. And so my idea is to build out a store to where you can come in and try things on, obviously. But on the site itself, I want to start building out user profiles to where you can share what shoes you have bought and what size. Or if you go through me, for example, to buy the shoes, it'll track like, hey, like you bought a size 10 in this shoe. Did you keep it or did you return it? And then also I want a place to put your foot anatomy. So do you have a wider foot? Like how long is your foot, etc.? And in that way, we can cross-reference all the sizing data. So then it does two things. Number one, it makes my life and your life way easier because we don't have to go tit for tat on sizing, and we get a better read on what type of foot will fit in what size. So you can then take your data that matches this person's foot that is similar, and you can buy with confidence. And I think that's better for the consumer experience. And also as a reviewer, it helps me give you more accurate data. And then also it helps companies out because it cuts down on their spend, which hopefully helps them in the long run regarding just their means of being able to produce. But then also it's better for the environment because less returns equals less stress on our environment, whether it's from air travel of shoes, FedEx, etc. So that is one angle that I would love to take with the site and the store. But think about it this way, like we have like Fleet Feet, we have these cool running stores with treadmills to look at your gait and stuff. But what if you had a store that you come in and try on shoes for deadlifts and squats. So the idea would be build out this really cool store experience, but then also have a deadlift platform and a squat rack in there. And you come in, try on shoes, see what they're like to lift in. And I just think it would be unreal. And we could also then build content together while we're in there. So you come in and shop for shoes, you try on some rads, you try on some weightlifting shoes, some barefoot shoes. I can walk you through what model to go with and which to wear based on how you train, shoot content together, lift together. I think it'd be very cool. And I think with the state of social media and the state of content in general, it's just consume, ecom. And I think that's very important. But I think we're all kind of craving a more experiential side of content. We're seeing that pendulum swing back. We want to connect with people more, humans more. And this will be the angle that I want to take for the next iteration of that Fit Friend. So we're still going to have all the reviews. I'm still going to have the in-depth content that I have, but I would like to also get more into ecom and the store experience, because in my mind, it's you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you go into the store, you have somebody who talks about a shoe with you who doesn't really understand the shoe. They're just kind of there, clocking in, clocking out. They don't really care. And you don't really get to try the shoe on and lift in it. So how can I make an experience and an online presence that blends the in-depth stuff that you want with just a really dope experience? And I would say just good ethos and morals behind the brand, because that's also something I'm very conscious of with that Fit Friend. The idea is I want to make an experience to why would you ever go anywhere else? If you're getting the best type of data, you're getting the best type of feedback, the best options for you, with somebody who's not trying to screw you out of money or just push product on you. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this idea? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Most of the folks I've talked to thus far, they like it. And I think there's a lot of fleshing out still, the ins and outs, the logistics and all of this stuff, because one, it's going to be expensive AF. It's literally going to drain my savings. And I actually might have to do a friends and family funding or get a loan for it, because it's not going to be a cheap venture. And at the end of the day, I know it could crash and burn up all my savings, but if that's scaring you a little bit, then it's not really worth it, right? And then number two, I just want to make this more of a community project. So I want to share what it's like to build a retail store, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done that before in my life. So I want to make it this thing that I can share with you guys, and we can all learn together, and I could share things that I learned along the way. So that if you ever want to dive into this angle of business or maybe something similar, fringe related, maybe this content and stuff can help you out. But all that said, would love your thoughts on it. I appreciate you if you stuck around this long to watch this announcement and you're getting this beautiful La Quinta in background. But all that said, I am going to pass out. I am so drained. I have an early flight tomorrow. I literally fly out in 10 hours for a bachelor party this weekend. And I'm just so ready to be in my own bed, not traveling for a little bit. But all that said, y'all, I appreciate you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions on shoes, fitness, whatever it might be, obviously, drop a comment or hit me on Instagram, whichever you prefer. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.